We live in a time of great challenges. First, a contest between those who believe government should be used to enrich themselves at the expense of the rest of us, as is reflected in the Ryan budget proposals adopted by the House and supported by Pete Sessions, my opponent, that sacrifice Medicare, Medicaid, higher education, and key elements of the social safety net to provide even more tax breaks to the very wealthy. And those who believe, as I do, that government is the way we work together to enhance opportunity for all who want to work hard, play by the rules, and succeed. To provide a safety net for those who cannot provide for themselves. And to ensure the blessings of liberty for us and those who come after us. Second, we face the challenge of balancing the needs and opportunities of the present and the future, young and old. Will we use our resources to create a more prosperous future, or will we consume more now? Will we pay our own bills, or will we burden our children with debts incurred to pay our bills? Third, we face a decision about the scope of government and how we will pay for it. I believe we can meet these challenges. We have had 30 years of destructive and deceptive policies. Those who have grabbed nearly half the cake want the rest too. I have had enough. Have you? Yes. The path to the future will require courage, compassion, and sacrifice. There simply is no free lunch. It will require that we set aside a portion of our individual interest for the greater good. For 30 years, we have been on the wrong path, a path that is increasingly destructive, that says, you're on your own, not we're in this together. It is time to stop and set out for the right path. Will we choose to create a better future for the vast majority of Americans? I say yes. Will you join me on that path? To do so, we must face the facts of our situation. The Dallas Morning News editorial board labeled me as too extreme because I talked about facts that no one likes to hear. I don't like them. I imagine most of you don't like them, and certainly there are others that don't like them. If recognizing the realities of our situation is extreme, then I welcome the label. What are those facts? First, we must pay our bills. To do so, it will be necessary to increase taxes. In order to balance the budget without tax increases, we would need to eliminate two of the following four completely. National defense. How many people here vote for that one? Eliminating it completely. Social Security. Anybody vote for eliminating Social Security? Medicare and Medicaid. And finally, all other federal spending. This is simple arithmetic. It's not rocket science. It is based on tax receipts and expenditures. I have yet to have someone tell me which two of these we will eliminate. To speak of solving these problems by cuts alone ignores the simple math of the situation. And it attempts to deceive us into believing that simple, cost-free solutions are possible, or more likely, fails to disclose a true agenda of leaving everyone on their own by destroying programs that the vast majority of Americans depend on. Taxes must also be raised to amortize the debt that we have accumulated over the last 30 years. I believe we should increase the tax base, broaden it, make tax rates much more progressive, and increase the highest marginal rates. Income from wealth should be treated the same as income from work. Those who claim such changes will harm the economy have simply been proven wrong over the past 30 years, as wrong-headed reductions in tax rates have enriched the few, reduced resources needed to create opportunity for the rest of us, and led to stagnation in real wages for ordinary, hard-working Americans. Such changes to our tax code will allow us to maintain and increase spending necessary for prosperity, affordable education, basic research, infrastructure improvements, and continuing safety net programs. In addition, appropriately progressive rates will begin to mitigate the past 30 years' redistribution of wealth from hardworking Americans to the wealthiest few. I will work to keep them from grabbing the rest of the cake. Second, we or our ancestors are all immigrants. My folks came from England with the very earliest settlers and Germany in the late 1860s here to Texas. You may know when yours arrived and where they came from. It is not possible to control immigration without creating a police state, and it is not in our best interest to do so. I was shocked to be required to wait nearly half an hour in order to drive through a permanent checkpoint on Interstate 10 in southern Arizona. I was astounded that one of my students from Japan, who had received a law degree in the United States, could not become a permanent resident. I believe that anyone that wants to immigrate to the United States to work hard and succeed in a way that they cannot in their home country, just as all of our ancestors did, should be encouraged, not shunned. In addition, we face disastrous demographic trends as a large part of the population, myself included, who are in the baby boomers, age, causing a problem similar to that Japan is now dealing with. This problem can only be ameliorated by encouraging immigration, increasing the working population, and lowering the average age of the population. Immigration helped make America great, and we should return to the policies reflected in the words of Emma Lazarus on the Statue of Liberty that we have all heard so many times. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I'll lift my lamp beside the golden door. Third, we must learn to sacrifice now to create a better future. We must forego current consumption in favor of creating physical, human, and knowledge capital for the future. We must provide the opportunity for excellent education for all, without regard to ability to pay. We must broadly expand basic research. We must invest in roads, other transportation infrastructure, communications infrastructure, and technologies such as alternative energy sources that are not currently economically justified but may be needed in the future. We have spent the past 70 years using up these types of investments that our parents and grandparents made as a result of the Depression, and it's time for us to do our part. For our children's sake, we must find the vision to focus not only on short-term questions, but on long-term goals and how to accomplish them. Fourth, we must zealously guard our civil liberties, including the right to privacy, control over our own bodies, and equal protection of the law for all, no exceptions, and the rule of law. I believe we can meet the challenges we face. We can find the courage and compassion and make the needed sacrifices to work together to build a better future for America. We can choose the right path instead of the wrong path. Now is the time to start. I ask you to join me.